Hello, hello, hello everybody, Root Beer here with the very last question, the final question on the grade 8 Gauss from 2006. The last question. It's been quite an adventure, and after this we're going to be starting up the 2006 Pascal, so if you're looking for a bit more of a challenge, you can join me for those videos there. You can even go to the CEMC website. That's the second link in the description, the first link of course being a copy of this contest for you to try yourself. But you can go to the CMC website, download a copy of the Pascal, try that one before I even get to it. If you're in grade 8 or grade 7, it's going to be a little more advanced, and there are some questions you might not be able to do, but it still gives you a little extra challenge. Okay? As I say, we're at the last question of the grade 8 paper, so it's question 25. Let's see if we can round this contest out nicely and get a good answer here. In the diagram, the numbers from 1 to 25 are to be arranged in the 5x5 grid, so that each number, except 1 and 2, is the sum of two of its neighbors. Numbers in the grid are neighbors if their squares touch along a side or at a corner. For example, the 1 here has 8 neighbors, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8, 9, and 7. Some of the numbers have already been filled in. Thank you, guys. Which number must replace the question mark when the grid is completed? So this is actually kind of just sort of a logic puzzle of, this number has to go here, and this number could be either be this number or this number. Let's see which one it can be, or does it matter? It's very interesting. Some of the numbers already filled in. Now, we're focusing on this question mark, but I'm guessing these 23, 24, and 25 have been added in either to eliminate possibilities there, or to help us, and we'll need to know, along our way to getting the question mark, what the number above the 23 is, that sort of thing. Now, before I get into it, I just was starting to think, I wonder, and for people who are good at that sort of thing, I wonder if we could, you could write a computer program to spit out all possible 5x5 grids that have this property. Or I also wonder, can this go on indefinitely, or is there some stopping point at which point, could a 6x6 grid be filled subject to these constraints that every number except 1 and 2 has to be a sum of its neighbors? Things to think about. I honestly don't know the answer. It's something I'll probably go tackle before, or at least investigate a bit before I start up the Pascal. But very interesting. Anyways, let's actually get into it. And I might solve the whole grid. You might need to solve the whole grid to get this question mark, but I think if you don't, I'm still going to try and solve the whole grid. But let's copy it. So other than placing numbers in the grid, there isn't going to be a whole lot we need to write here. We're just sort of going to go through and sort it out with logic. And it'll sort of be verbal reasoning on my end. And sort of it would be reasoning in your head on the actual contest day. So there's 5 columns. There need to be 5 rows. And if you couldn't do a 6x6 grid, could you do, what sort of grids could you do? Could you do a 5x7? Would you be able to sort that one out? Interesting stuff. Okay, now I know the 9 was down here. I'm pretty sure it was 25 and 24. I think it was 21 and 20 here. I want to say a 4. I want to say 22. I specifically mentioned the 23 here. But what else have we got? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, it's kind of a spiral, although the 10 doesn't go here. Maybe the spiral reverses a bit, but no. Still interesting. And is there anything else? No, actually, I got all the numbers right. Let's see. We'll put the box that I'm interested in purple, just so I don't forget. Because if I get solving and then I get the purple, but I think it's supposed to be the square above, I don't want to keep going because time is a factor, especially if you've made it all the way to 25. So you want to, when you get your answer, you want to write it down. What possibilities are we looking at 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, although for some reason not put in 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 order. Fine with me. I would guess then that probably 14 isn't the answer, because they might have jumbled it to avoid those people who always guess C, but who knows. What are we to do? Well, so there's sort of two things I can see right away. It's these squares. So look at 21. Around him, he only has 3 neighbors. He's quite limited. Same with all the corners are quite limited. Now, we don't know what's up in the top left corner, but that's okay. Around 21, we've got 4, 20, and something. So that's like 4 plus 20 is not going to give us 21. It gives us 24. So it's not that sum that gives us 21. So it's got to be either 20 and what's in this box below the 21, or 4 and what's in the box below the 21. So if it were 20, we'd have a 1 here. Now we can't do that because we've got a 1 here. So it's got to be 4 plus something is 21, and that's going to be 17. Okay. So 17. And now I did say I saw something else. And you can do the same sort of reasoning with 25. 25, you can be 24 plus 1, but that's not going to work. Or something plus 9. So that'd be 16 plus 9. And that also solves the problem of where does 23 come from? It's 16 plus 7. Now, the reason I didn't jump on that and I was about to move on is because 17 is really close to this box here. And the same sort of reasoning applies. How do we get 17? You can't use either the 20 or 21, so it's 4 plus 3. No, that's not going to work. 4 plus in the box or 3 plus the purple box. So that sort of narrows it down. It can either be 13 or 14. And as soon as we know that, it's a 1 out of 2 guess. It's either C or E that is the answer. So that quite shockingly narrows it down. So just a little bit of logic, and suddenly it's a 50-50 guess. Now, you might remember that on the multiple choice contests Waterloo puts out, you get 2 marks for a blank. And especially for the C-part questions, I encourage you guys to leave a blank if you're about to guess. Only really guess if you're down to a 50-50. We've got a 50-50. So this would be a fine place to guess if you ran out of time. Again, I'd probably say 13 is probably going to be the answer, just because why else would they have jumbled the numbers other than to avoid? Because if I know a lot of people tend to just guess the middle numbers, so C if they don't know. I don't know why people do that, but if you were thinking that and you thought people were doing that and you were making up a contest, look at our potential answers: 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 13 is the one right in the middle. That would be C. You don't want people just guessing 25 correctly. 25 is the one that's supposed to be hard. So we jumble it up, and now 14 is C. So I really think 13 is the right answer, just based on a little bit of logic and the way people design multiple choice contests. Anyway, where was I? So 13 to 14, we're actually going to get the right answer. We're gonna fill this out. So it's 13 or 14. Now, either one of those can't be made using the 17. So it's either going to be 4 plus something, or 3 plus something, or 2 plus something. So it's going to involve sort of this green box down here. So whatever that is should help us out. Okay. So again, we haven't used this 16 yet, and maybe we didn't need to do that. So this green box, well, what could it be? I don't quite know, but there's this 22, and the corners have certainly helped us. So the green box plus, I don't want to keep introducing box colors, but maybe just one more. So the green box plus the red box has got to be equal to 22, because what else is there? 2 plus one of these boxes? They'd have to be 20, but 20 is already taken. So 22 is green box plus the red box. All right, well, what could those be? And here's where the rest of this thing being filled out really helps us. Because 22, how can we write 22 as a sum? It could be, 1 plus 21. Well, 21's taken, so is 1. 2 plus 20. Well, 20 is taken. 3 plus 19, 3 is too far away. 4 plus 18, 4 is too far away. They're all too far away. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The next free one is 10 plus 12. I don't see 10 being already taken somewhere. I don't see 12 being already taken somewhere. And the next one's 11 plus 11. You can't have 11 be in both of these. So this one here is either 10 or 12, and this one is either 12 or 10. Okay. So, does it matter which is which? Because if this were 10, 10 plus 3 is 13, 10 plus 4 is 14, so that's not helping. If it were 12, 12 plus 2 is 14. 12 plus, well, there'd be no way to get 13 if this guy was 12. So if this were 12, that would automatically tell us this has got to be 14. Okay. So now we either need to show that the green box is 12 or the red box is 10. Both of those would work. Okay. Notice that no matter which one is 10, the other one can easily be 12 because, say this is 10, 10 plus 2, we get 12 here, or 10 plus 2, we get 12 down here. So that's all fine. But if this were 10, how could I get this 10 here? This is either 13 or 14. We'd then have a 12 here. 10 is 3 plus 2? I don't think so. So there's no way for this to be 10. It's got to be 12. Our 10 comes from, well, how can we make 10? 3 plus 7, they're too far away. 4 plus 6, too far away. 1 plus 9, too far away, but 2 plus 8, definitely. That means that's got to be 12, so this has to be 14. So we're done. It's C14, and I actually am a little shocked. I thought it was going to be 13. Shows what I know. Okay. So that's 14, and we've got our right answer, C14. Let's actually continue on. I'm just curious as to how the rest of this is going to play out. So if you want to, stop there. It's been a wonderful contest. Like, subscribe, the usual stuff I say at the end. But if you want to, let's continue looking at this and see if we can fill out the whole chart. Okay. I actually didn't think I'd get it that quickly when I started asking which one's 10 or 12, but there it is. Okay, what else can we do? So the 16 there, we never really used him, and it was probably a waste of time for me to talk about him. But he gives us the 23 with that 7 there. What numbers have we left to place? 9, 10. We don't have 11. We got 12. We don't have 13. It'd be nice to know where that ended up. We got 14. We don't have 15. We got 16, 17. We don't have 18 or 19. Okay. Now, in terms of the numbers that we've got here, this 24 is accounted for by the 6 and the 8, so that's fine. What numbers could go here? 10 plus 2, no, 12's already taken. 10 plus 8, it could be 18. Or it could be 10 plus 9 is 19, and that's really it. Okay. How about 11? Well, how do I make 11? 10 plus 1? No, they're too far away. 9 plus 2? Again. Oh, yeah, we could have 9 plus 2, so 11 could be here. So we got 3 choices here. That's maybe not the best one to start off with. How about this corner over here? Could we say what's in the corner? I don't think right now we can say what's in the corner. How do we make a 13? 13 is 1 plus 12. Again, they're too far away. 2 plus 11. Well, I don't quite know where 11 is, but it's either here, in which case there's no free place to put the 13, or the 11 is somewhere up here in this sort of L-shaped Tetris piece, in which case it's too far away from the 2 to make a 13. 3 and 10, again, they're too far away from a free space. 9 and 4, too far away. 8 and 5, too far away. 7 and 6, well, they're right next to each other. And that's really it. So 13's got to go here. So there's 13. So he's off the list. And now we've got these spaces up here. Now I can see with the 6 and a 5 we can make it 11 in one of these two spaces. The 13 and the 6 would make a very nice 19. And a very nice 18 would go in there. How about 15? How are we going to get 15 anywhere? Well, how do we make 15? 14 and 1? No. 13 and 2? Certainly not. 12 and 3? Nope, that's not going to work. 11 and 4. So here's the 4. If 11 were up here, we get a 15, but he'd have to go here. 10 and 5, too far away. 9 and 6, too far away from each other. 8 and 7, too far away from each other. So it's really got to be 11 and 4. So we've got to fill it out this way. So now 11's off the docket here. And I think that wraps it up nicely. We're going to get 18 down here. And 19 up here. Because there's no other way. There's no way to get 18 up in this corner. So he's got to go down here in the free space. And that gives us 19. So very nice. But again, we just needed that C14. Not a whole lot of work to get to that. The 17. And then it's either 13 or 14. 50-50 yes if you want. Continuing on, it's just the placement of the 10 and the 12. Okay. And, yeah, so that's the full thing. We didn't need it, but there it is. And we're left wondering, well, could I do a 6x6? Could I fill it in? Not necessarily starting with this template, but what else could we do? Is there a limit? Well, there might be another math problem in there somewhere. That's just the sort of thing I think about. But, that's it for the 2006 Grade 8 Gauss. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. And I've already mentioned, if you want a harder contest, 2006 Pascal, you can already start that. Or if you're looking for more Grade 8 Gausses, I've done a bunch in the past. The 2007 will be the next one I do, so look for that. And if you want to be kept up to date, of course, you can subscribe. And, yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thanks for watching, again, and I'll see you in the next video, whatever that may be.